Hello everybody, so welcome again to Karen and Nurture Parenting and Facebook Live. So we have another stinking hot Sunday day in Sydney and it is 40 degrees and oh my goodness, I can't believe every Tuesday there seems to be a really hot day. So today I'm going to be answering all your questions. I've got heaps from last week to answer and then there'll be obviously some more coming from this week. So I'm so excited and let's get into it and let's get started. So I had to whiz over to the Apple shop today to go and get some new headphones because I got a new phone, old phone dropped on the pavement, and as usual that's the last thing that you want to do when you've been doing a Facebook Live. But I'm here, so slightly late, so apologies. Technology again. So last week I did a competition and the lucky winner is Jess Finlan. So well done to Jess. So congratulations. And I did a competition to win some Bebe sunscreen. So that's going to be making its way to Jess and I'm going to send you the lotion version. And it's SPF 50, it is water resistant, it's amazing, full of lovely natural products. Okay, some more questions coming in, right, excellent, so we'll get to those shortly. So Jess, congratulations, this is going to be winging its way to you and it's in our online shop at Nurture Parenting. It is full of lovely organic products. Calendula, blackberry, aloe vera, chamomile, etc, etc. So Jess, lucky winner. So we're going to do another competition today. Yay! So every week we're going to be doing a competition. So this week I decided that I would give away one of my ebooks, my Help I'm a New Mum I Don't Know What to Do ebook and my baby massage book. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about both of them. So they're available to watch through your iPad, through the Kindle, and one here on my Kindle here. So it's very portable, you can watch it, you can look at them, read them on your mobile phone. So if you're there in the nursery, in the future they'll probably go onto audio, so then you'll be able to listen to them while you're feeding, which I think would be a great thing to do. So I'm giving away one of my baby massage books, The Magic of Touch. So I've been teaching baby massage for a long time, about 18 years now. I'm a big believer in it. It really makes a massive difference with sleep with babies. Babies that are massaged every day get to sleep quicker and will sleep for up to an hour longer every day. They gain weight better, they thrive better, they feed better, they're more zen. I think that it'd be lovely if every baby got a massage. I think it'd just be fabulous. I think every person and every mum deserves a massage as well. And I think Karen deserves a massage this week too. So that is something on my list that I think some self-care for all of us, very important. But babies, baby massage, amazing. This book, it has got an embedded video inside it. So Karen's a techie geek. She loves the technology. And this book is on Apple in the iBooks store. And the video, you can actually watch it on your TV. So it's downloadable. Watch it straight away, and it's got like a split screen to it, so you can look down and from the side. So you'll see me massaging a 7-month-old baby in this video. So babies from 6 weeks old onwards, great for massage. So that's what you're going to win today, a baby massage book with an embedded video, which is fabulous. So also included in the competition, in the prize, is the Help I'm a New Mum and I Don't Know What to Do. And this has been revolutionary. It is all my secrets of how to prevent sleep problems, so then you can avoid sleep training. And there's no crying, and it's gentle, okay? And it's about all the things that you need to know to help get great sleep, great day patterns for your baby. And it just gives you a cheat sheet, an A to Z of all my secrets. Over 28 years as being a midwife. And it really is an absolute godsend. And I get reviews all the time sent to me. If I gave all the reviews out and comments about this book, oh my goodness, I'd be even busier than what I am. And I got a mum recently with a 3rd child and it has changed her life. So Kobe, thank you for your review. It was beautiful and really heart sent. And so those 2 books, whoever gets drawn from today gets the baby massage and the Help I'm a New Mum ebooks. So yay! Alright, so let's get into this week's Facebook Live. So, hello everybody. You can put your thumbs up, give me a like, give me a love heart, whatever you want to do. So thank you for joining me. I know that all your time is valuable. So I'm going to give you some really good information, some really great answers, and you could ask me anything each week and I promise to answer everything. I will not leave anything out. So say I don't get to it this week, I'll answer it next week, and then if I get a massive backlog, I'll probably put it onto YouTube, because I think that's probably where we go next, because there's so many questions coming in, literally. So I'm going to start off first with Jules and Calvin, 17 months. Now Calvin is a little toddler that I went to help recently with his sleep, and they went to Vietnam on night 2 of sleep training, and he slept on the plane. And Calvin had been a bed sharer till that time. He'd never known his cot till he met me. Booby feeding from the breastfeeding buffet every night, probably 5-6 times. And we got him in his cot on night 1, and he slept amazingly. And on the plane, on night 2, Jules put him into his little sleep suit, zipped him up, read him a story, and Calvin was out like a light. So, incredible. So, good success story there from Jules. Now, the problem now with Calvin is that he's having a lot of tantrums. So he's going through that typical 18-month wonder week, that big separation anxiety where he's learning to be completely separate to his mummy. It's massive, and boys, you know, really navigate that wonder week in not a great way. They are better when they're sleep trained, but even so, you know, you're going to have some big meltdowns from children around 18 months. So I talked to Jules about the 5-minute rule. So this 5-minute rule it's like a transition statement. It's telling your child what's going to happen next. So often we tend to do things without thinking, i.e. start the bath, do the dinner, take them out for a walk, but we don't tell them what's happening. So when you've got hello Lauren, so when we've got a 3-year-old, we use a 3-minute rule. When we've got a 2-year-old, we use a 2-minute rule. So for Calvin, I'll just take an example of, say, it's come up to bath time and bedtime. So right, in Calvin, 2 minutes time, we're going to be finished doing our play now, and then we're going to be going upstairs for a bath. And then we tell him in 1 minute, so we get down at eye level, make sure we've got eye contact there, say 1 minute time, Calvin, we're going to be going for a bath. Okay, now Calvin, it's bath time. So then we're breaking it down, so then it's not such a big shock for Calvin. So that 5-minute rule, it's in my blog, it is amazing. In the future there will be a toddler book coming from Karen with all my little secrets, but I think that's a little gem that will make life so much easier, and it usually decreases tantrums by about 50%. Other reason kids tantrum is because they're hungry, and also with sleep as well. So make sure they have regular naps, make sure they're getting enough food because they need lots of calories, high fat diet, lots of low GI carbs, etc. and protein. But they're things that will decrease tantrums, so hopefully that's helpful for you, Jules. So, hi to Jules and Calvin. Alright, so next I'm going to come to Tanya's question. Tanya asked me this question last week. So, hi Tanya, hope your week was good. So Tanya's looks like she's got a 3-week-old baby, which must be 4 weeks old now. He only seems to like to be in my arms to fall asleep, then wakes after 15 to 20 minutes later, and the cycle starts again. Now this is really common in new babies. So new babies tend to have very light sleep cycles, they're easily aroused, and that is partially a survival mechanism, and it's all part of preventing and reducing the risk of SIDS. But it can be problematic when it comes to sleep. So the things that I would suggest, Tanya, is, as well as hopefully you might win my competition, help I'm a new mum, I don't know what to do, because it's got all the secrets in there as to how to manage sleep. Now, often we tend to hold babies a lot, and we tend to hold them for too long. And this often creates problems with overtired babies because we're not seeing their tired signs till they are overtired, okay? And then we've got a big problem with overtiredness, then that witching hour gets worse, etc. So looking at teaching self-settling in the day, and it's gentle and it's kind and it's not controlled crying, it's not sleep training, it's baby sleep learning. Looking at putting him down awake in the cot from the start of the day. Now, a 4-week-old baby will probably be ready to go for sleep about an hour to an hour and a quarter, sometimes an hour and a half. So most of these babies I meet have not read the books, and the books say an hour and a quarter. Well, I know babies who are 9 weeks old and can be up for 2 hours or even 2.5 hours. So it's about getting the right amount of tired signs and making sure they are properly tired. Because if we try and put them down too early and just see one yawn, they're often not going to go down all that well. So I want to look at a pattern of feed, play, sleep in your day, feeding till your baby's completely got a full tummy, I'll be looking at, even with a new baby, looking at feed, play, and an extra feed, particularly if you're breastfeeding, and then sleep, because that way you're maximising your feeding. And you might even want to change your nappy halfway through. So feed, bit of tummy time on the floor, change nappy maybe, then do the extra bit of the feed just to make sure that he's properly full. Then put him again down on the floor just to see what the tired signs are. That's the best way of reading a baby, and that way you will really change how and when you're putting your baby down. So it's only taken me 17 years of doing baby sleep and 28 years as a midwife to work this stuff out. But this is the stuff that you will learn, parents learn from me on home visits. I'm giving you today through Facebook Live. So always read your baby from the floor on a little bunny book. Because when babies are on the floor, they show their stress signs. When we're holding babies, we're masking their stress, and then we don't read their tired signs till they're overtired, and that's when we end up in a pickle often. So that will be a big game changer for a lot of you, and hopefully for you, Tanya, that's going to help you. So I want you to swaddle him. I like swaddling with hands up. As a lot of you know out there, I gave the girl with the Love to Dream suit the idea for the Love to Dream suit. No kidding. I know she's very rich now. I'm not. Anyway, that's another story. But I love having babies with their hands up by their head because it's a survival mechanism. It reduces the risk of SIDS. It's how they are in utero. So Love to Dream suit I love. I also love the ergo cocoon thing because the arms again are up. I don't like putting arms down by sides in babies unless I've got an overtired baby, and then I do. So that's my secret for overtired babies. It's in my Help a New Mum book, What to Do with an Overtired Baby. It shows you how to manage the witching hour, how to manage overtired, and I talked to you in there about my rolling pin method, which only the people who've seen me on home visits or have read my Help a New Mum book will know what the rolling pin method is. And to me, that saved many parents' lives and saved Karen's life on many an occasion. So my rolling pin method, I actually put babies with their arms down by their side. And maybe in the future I might do a little video on what my rolling pin method is, but not yet. So if you want to know what my rolling pin method is, then you need to buy the Help I'm a New Mum, I Don't Know What to Do book. It works with babies under 3 months of age, some babies even under 4 months of age. But my rolling pin method, great for overtired babies and great for that witching hour. It is a lifesaver. Okay, so Julie's saying, oh, my marketing lady said, Karen, don't talk about the rolling pin method. Right, I'm going to stop right now. I'm not going to give you any more. I'm going to leave that as a teaser. Okay. I've got lots of secrets, and unfortunately sometimes I like to share them too much. Hence the Love to Dream suit and why that lady is now rich and I'm not. I should have done it myself. Okay, so Tanya, hopefully that has given you some ideas there of what to do. But always put your baby down awake in the cot. I want you just to tuck in with a cotton sheet. If it's a really hot day, just use your swaddle. If it's a really hot day, you might not even want to use a swaddle. You might just want to put baby down awake in the cot and just tuck in with a very light sheet. Use the fan, use the aircon. Fans are really good for this little babies. And then I want you to walk away just for a few minutes, see what happens. Not very long. Between 1 and 3 minutes is usually about right. Go back to him, and then I want you to put your hand on him and help him to settle and stay with him. Okay, so little babies, stay with them. Pick up when they get upset, short cuddle, down again. Pick up, down again. And the secrets for how long I do a cuddle, again, is in my Help I'm a New Mum book. So all these little things are really important to know, okay? So hopefully that's helped you there, Tanya. So I'll be looking at a dark room for sleep around 6 weeks of age, very important. Babies after 6 weeks don't sleep in light rooms, and you need a cool room, so like I say, AC or a fan. Close the curtains in the morning to keep the heat out of the house, and hopefully that's helped you there, Tanya. So let me know how you get along. So next we're going to come on to Georgie, and Georgie last week sent me a question, and she says, hi, first time poster. So hi Georgie, first time poster. So well done on sending your question in. I love questions. So she says, our 7-month-old boy will only nap for 30 minutes during the day. I've tried going in early to resettle, tried putting him down for naps earlier, later, white noise, and his suggestions will be greatly appreciated. No problem at all, Georgie. I've got heaps of ideas for you. So I'm guessing that your baby goes down okay at night time, goes down awake in the cot and sleeps well at night time. There's no issues. That's what I'm presuming. If it's any different, Georgie, just send me some comments in. Otherwise, I would be looking at timing. Timing is a massive issue with catnapping. So again, as I was saying to Tanya, with Tanya's question before, we're putting babies down way too early. And if babies are not tired enough, they're not going to go to sleep, okay, and sleep for a long time. Now, Tresillian, Karitani, Sleep School, other baby sleep whisperers, baby sleep consultants, they're telling parents to put the baby down after 1 yawn. And that is a big mistake, okay? So it's very interesting being me at times because I'm a lone voice saying these things that are very different to what you're hearing, okay? Now, bear in mind, I trade in England, so I've been taught English ways. In England, we're taught by psychologists how to do sleep work, behaviour work. I'm a specialist practitioner. My training level is of an advanced level, so my knowledge is very different to most people. So very important that you're waiting for more than just 1 yawn, okay? I want to see a few yawns, particularly with an older baby. I want to see maybe a bit of eye rubbing with a 7-month-old baby, even a little bit of whinging, okay? Most people would say, or some people would say, that was too late, Karen, that's overtired. No, it's not. So when I'm just waiting for that little bit of whinging, not a lot, but just a little bit. I want them to ask for their bed. I want them to ask for their sleep and ask for their cot, okay? That makes a big difference. So little baby, yes, I wouldn't wait for like masses of yawns and crankiness, but I'd want a little bit of a clue that baby is tired and not just one little yawn, because yawns, they might be tired, they might not, it could just be purely a reflex action, okay? I want to make sure. So I've got a library full of babies and what type signs are, right from newborn right to toddlers at 3 years old. So I've been filming and recording for the last 2 years. And when I do home visits or in the pharmacy in Basgers, Bondi, I will show you what tired signs you need to look for, because that is really crucial. This stuff in the future will go into apps, it'll go into learning modules. So it'll be a game changer. So once you see what to do, it makes a massive difference. Now on my YouTube, there is a video on there of what tired signs are for a young baby under 3 months, 6 weeks old. And I look at hands-on settling on there as well, so that'll give you an idea on there too, okay? But it's looking at when you put them down. So putting them down too early is a disaster. And that's why most parents get in catnapping. So no amount of resettling is going to work if that timing is incorrect. So I read babies, as most people know, like most people read books. I'm a bit unusual in that way, but in a good way. I like to be unusual. So, and babies tell me when they need to go down, and I teach parents on my home visits exactly what you need to know. And I get amazing results, as you probably all know. So literally just in a one-night stay, I've turned life around for this mum called Jess, and she's got a little girl called Xanthi. And Xanthi's in a hip brace for clicker hips. And last night, slept for 7 hours, and then slept for 6 hours, with just one feed in the middle. Previously, Xanthi was waking up every hour. Today, she's put her down, and she's gone to sleep within just a few minutes, and no crying. So transformed just within one night. So I teach you what I know over 28 years of me being a midwife and doing sleep work. And I think all the thousands of babies I've helped, all the thousands of parents I've helped, and it is thousands now. So imagine 28 years of me doing this, how many babies I've seen, I've helped, how many babies I delivered as a midwife. So all that knowledge is what I'm giving to you when I come to help you in the home, and what I help parents with at Basgers in Bondi, and hopefully through Facebook Live and through other things I'm going to be doing in the future. So I work on observation, into pattern recognition, so very analytical, very logical, and very scientific. So I'm always questioning, what is it I'm seeing? What is that baby saying? What needs to happen for that baby? So you wouldn't be wasting your time to either do a phone consult with me, do a Skype, or do a visit or come and see me at Basgers, because even those situations, I can really change people's lives. Okay, so Georgie, I hope that's helped you. Now, one other thing I want to add is tryptophan. And if you give foods high in tryptophan an hour, just 1 hour before your nap, then that really helps them get to sleep and stay asleep for longer. So it can be just as simple as giving a banana for dessert with some brown rice pudding, or just a banana by itself, or giving some chicken, or giving some turkey. So there is a blog called How to Fix Your Baby's Sleep with Diet, and Julie will put that up for you at the end of on this feed, and so you'll be able to click on that and have a look at that. So it is, you know, really important that we're giving the right food, and we're giving the right amount of calories, the right, you know, volume of food as well. If that dish is empty, give more food. At your little baby's age, you should be having about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of food at each meal. So if that dish is empty, give more. Give finger foods, eat with them. When you eat with them and give finger foods and turn the TV off, they can eat up to 25% more food. So massive. So modelling behaviour. So Georgie, I've given you quite a few things there. So first time poster, hopefully you've got a fabulous answer there and a fabulous turnaround, Georgie. So I would love to know how you get along. Give me some feedback, let me know. Okay, so we're now coming on to Lauren. I know Lauren's listening and Lauren's been waiting patiently. Hello Lauren, give me a thumbs up and a love heart if you're there still. Is Lauren, Elise Risk, still there? Or she had to go back and see to her baby? Hello Lauren. Doesn't matter, I will carry on, Lauren, because you can come back to it later. So Lauren asked me 2 questions. She asked me a question about thumb sucking. At what point in time does it become an issue? Now, baby's 10 months old now. Will he grow out of it, or does he need something else to replace it for settling and falling asleep? A few people have made comments about it, and that it's an issue. It has made me have a think about it. It's fascinating, isn't it, when people give their opinion, their comments, and it is often their point of view, and it is often nothing to do with your baby. They're trying to be helpful, but sometimes it doesn't come across this way. And I think mums are in a very vulnerable position, and people offer advice whether you've even asked for it or not. They can't help themselves. As a nurse and midwife, I'm incredibly respectful, and I don't offer advice unless I'm asked for it. Hello Melinda! So I would just sit back on that one, Lauren, and do you really need to get rid of the dummy at this point? Now, when they get to about 2, then it can become a dental issue. So there's many ways of getting rid of thumb sucking and also dummies as well. So thumb sucking, there is things like Stop and Grow you can put on them. I'm sure there's lots of homeopathic herbal stuff you can put on thumbs. Now, I was a thumb sucker till I was 5, so I'm fessing out. Yes, I had lots of dental work done, and it's only really a problem if you've got an overcrowded mouth, which is what I had and still have, or a small jaw, which I have. If you've got a normal shaped jaw, hi Mercy, hope you're having a fabulous day and keeping cool. So if you've got a small jaw and you've got overcrowded mouth and that runs in your family, then it can be a problem. But if it's not a problem for you, and it's not a problem for your child, then why remove it? I think thumbs are very comforting things. You can't give a lovey or toy till 1. So if you take your, hi Gemma! So if you take your thumb away, what are you going to replace it with? And how upset is your baby going to be? So I love the thumb, and I remember fondly sucking my thumb and with my soft toys and everything. I think comfort for children and having that comfort, and you can never lose a thumb. Your thumb's always there. It can't be taken away. And as long as by the age of 2, certainly by 5, that dummy is gone, that thumb is gone, I think that's really important. I'll tell you what my dad did with me. I don't recommend this, by the way. I don't think it's particularly kind, but anyway, he's doing his best. He's doing what he felt he should do. So, Mum, if you're listening to this, Leslie, if you're listening to this, please don't tell Dad that I've roused on him, that I've told on him. So, when I was 5, my parents realised that I was never going to get rid of my thumb because I loved it so much. And so my dad put hot English mustard onto my thumb. And it actually stopped me, but I didn't like it. I don't like hot English mustard. I like wasabi. So I've obviously got over my fear of hot things, but I'm not really one for hot food or chilies or anything. Maybe he scarred me for life, I don't know. Anyway, that's what my father did. I'm rousing on you, Dad. You put hot English mustard on my thumb. Not sure if it's kind or not. Like I say, I wouldn't do it to a child. But anyway, that's what used to happen in the 60s and 70s when Karen was growing up. So, Stop and Grow, you can buy it from the pharmacy at the age of 2. That's something you can use. Like I said, there's probably homeopathic stuff out there. I'm sure there's other kind of ways than hot English mustard or wasabi, or even Stop and Grow. So Lauren, hope that helped you. So leave the thumb, leave it where it is. It's a lovely thing and is not going to cause any harm. And if anything, thumb sucking reduces the risk of allergies. It helps introduce the child to normal bacteria and helps their gut and their immune system. So there's many reasons to love a thumb. Right, Lauren, your other question was regarding white noise. We've always had something playing since we did sleep training with you at 3 months, and Hugo is now 10 months old. We had it on primarily because of the dog barking and to allow him not to be woken so often as his room was at the front of the house, i.e. parcel deliveries, etc. We've now moved house and he's upstairs, so is it bad to still have music or something playing overnight? And day sleeps. Should we get rid of it completely and sleep in silence? I just don't want to cause long-term issues and dependence. So the white noise thing, interesting, it's not a massive sleep association. However, I'm not a fan of music or lullabies or music played on a loop, because if it changes tempo, that can jar and cause problems. I do like white noise, however, and I've been in some very challenging situations with sleep training where I've been underneath the flight path of the big Airbuses, which is like, oh my goodness. So I think in those situations, to have this background that masks out, even things like if you live in inner city Sydney and you've got apartments being built near you, which I have, many parents have, I think to mask that out with white noise is a great idea. I'm a fan particularly of raindrops, of the vacuum cleaner, hairdryer, they're all great ones. Just be careful of the loudness. It should be no more than 65 decibels and down to about 50 is ideal. And you get a decimal meter that you can fit onto your smartphone or your iPhone. So it's good just to check out how loud it is. It should be no louder than ordinary conversation. Okay, so Claire sent me a question in here, so I'll be coming around to you, Claire, in a moment. And everybody else who sent questions in. Right, Alicia, this is the other question from last week I didn't get to. So hi Karen, Alicia Lati. Hi Karen, I have a question about my 17-month-old boy who's in a cot in our room. We don't have another room currently for him to sleep in. He has been a terrible sleeper from day one, waking every 1.5 hours up until 15 months old. But I've recently gotten him to sleep better using your techniques along with night weaning. Excellent, well done Alicia. But when he wakes, he can see us in bed and wants me to come and settle him. Do you have any advice on how to encourage him to sleep longer on his own? I'm giving him a bottle of water when he wakes and I'm breastfeeding him from around 4:30 to 5 o'clock. Just to get some more sleep. So bear in mind that this little boy, for Alicia's little boy, is 17 months old. So that's quite an oldish toddler. So I would not be giving the water at all, Alicia, on a regular basis. Water has created problems for many babies and toddlers waking up. I had an 18-month-old waking up at 3:30 just for a bottle of water. And because it happened for 3 months, the water kept happening, he kept waking, the water kept happening, he kept waking. So if you're going to give something, don't give it for more than a week, and don't give it at the same time every night. Okay? Water is like milk, is like a cuddle in the middle of the night, is like putting them into your bed. It's all the same thing. Okay? So water isn't as innocent as what it appears. However, when you've got a 40-degree day like we have today, I think water is very useful, and I certainly use it when I'm doing sleep training. Because when you're in Australia and 40 degrees, you cannot not give water with sleep training. It is just not doable. So, and it's been a vile summer recently, but just be careful with that water, okay? Also, the booby from 4:30. So I'd be looking at diet in the day. I'll be looking at pulling the rug and taking that feed away, Alicia. I think at 17 months, he does not need a feed. And I'll be worried about dental decay. Now, we don't talk about this a lot, but breastfed babies, there's a lot of sugar in breast milk. And those first teeth have very little enamel on them. And I've seen tooth decay caused by nighttime breastfeeding, and it is a big problem. So not just from a sleep point of view, I'll be looking from a health point of view. And once you've got decay to first teeth, then you've got decay to second teeth, because that bacteria is in that mouth and in that mouth cavity. Okay, so I would actually take that breastfeed away as well as the water. And then I'll be looking at resettling. I'd be looking at how you settle him. So Alicia, if you need more help with this, contact me please, because I help with lots of toddlers, and toddlers are very challenging. So I had a 12-month-old recently, and mum's pregnant with baby number 2, and she was having 5 feeds at night time and demanding to go into mum's bed. And when I went to help them, she literally stood up in a cot, and when I took her out for a quick cuddle, she pointed to the door and went, I was like, take me, and she was very firm with her pointing. So I didn't, and now she's sleeping through every night. So toddlers at 17 months, I wouldn't be giving night feeds at all. I'll be looking at sleep, and within a night, Alicia, 2 nights, you can turn this around to even get a sleep through. It's about being really consistent, really firm. Sit by the cot, do your parental presence thing. You can be very loving doing this. It doesn't need to be mean, but I'll be taking that feed away and I'll be taking that water away, love. So hopefully that's helped you. And then I'll be looking at the tryptophan in the day and looking at the diet. It will take about 4 days, 5 days till diet improves, but you have to take these things away. Your little boy, unfortunately, Alicia, is not going to go, I'm sorry, Mum, but I'm going to give you a leave pass and you can sleep through tonight. It's not going to happen otherwise. So I get many toddlers up to the age of 2, 3 years old, having up to 10 feeds at night time. And 10 feeds for a 2 to 3 month old child, they just don't need it. And these kids are often iron deficient because they're just not eating properly in the day. So Alicia, if you need to come back to me, please do come back to me, love, and I want to help you to get this sorted, because waking up at night is just exhausting, particularly when your child is now 17 months old. Okay, so Laura, just going to say hello to Laura out there with Matilda, and I hope Matilda's doing really well. Matilda had open heart surgery recently, a hole in the heart and lots of other things. She's been a very brave little girl as Matilda. Just want to say hi to Matilda and hope you're doing really well and on the mend. And the ignoring technique is great for escalations and some cheeky little monkey behaviours. So have a look at my blog, Laura, on the ignoring technique, and I know that Matilda is giving you the ignoring technique. I think I'd play her game. So 2 can play at that game, Laura. So bring on the ignoring, and it just gets rid of things really, really quickly. Never say, obviously, I'm ignoring you. Just walk away, walk away, walk away, pick a book up, get engrossed in something, and the first good thing that you see Matilda do, the positive thing that you see her do, give labelled praise. And that's what you do with ignoring. So let's come to all the rest of these questions. So let me just go into my messenger and see what is coming through. Okay, so I hope you're all keeping cool out there, and I hope I've given you some really good answers out there. Right, let's just refresh this feed and see what is coming up today. Okay, right, we are here. So hello to Pia, I know Pia's here. Who else is here? Sophie's here as well, so hello to Sophie. I've got Kylie, hello Kylie. I've got Jonathan Moore, goodness. Oh, all the way in the UK, in the Yorkshire Dale, so hi Jonathan. Say hello to my sister, say hello to Freya and Tilly for me. So Jonathan is Tilly and Freya's daddy and my sister's boyfriend, partner. So hi Jonathan, hope you're enjoying this. Would you love 41 degrees or 40 degrees, Jonathan? I'm sure you wouldn't. Jonathan likes the snow, he's happy in the snow. Michelle, hi Michelle, your little ones. And Melinda, said hello to Melinda before. Bernadette, hello Bernadette too. And Gemma over in Melbourne now. Hope Melbourne is treating you well and it's cooler over here than what it is over here today. Melissa, hello Melissa. And Lauren and Christina and Katie and Mercy. So we've got quite a few on here today. Alrighty, so let's just go down and see what else people have been asking me today. Okay, so right, there's a few in here. All right, somebody sent me a question in from Instagram. So it's from Kylie. How can I stop my 2-year-old coming into our bed every night? I have a 4-month-old who is still in our room. So Mr. 2-year-old wakes him up every time he comes in and throughout the night. His 2-year-old is such a restless sleeper. I can't take him back to bed during the night as I need to tend to 4-month-old. Really common problem, okay? So I'd be looking at putting a safety gate on 2-year-old's room, because then you've got a delay. I'd also put a safety gate on your room, because then you've got a double delay. So even if toddler can jump over said safety gate, you've got 2 little barriers there, okay, Kylie? So that will make a massive difference. Then when you hear the gate rattling, wait a few minutes before you attend, all right? And don't worry about the shouting, because I'm sure that, you know, you can probably close your door a little bit to keep your room a bit more soundproof, and again use some white noise in your room to help mask out the shouting from 2-year-old. Then after 3 minutes of shouting, and I mean constant shouting, I want you to go to 2-year-old, shoo him back in. I take it that he's in a bed, so shoo him back into bed, and I want you to ask to get him to go into bed himself. So into bed now, into bed now. So there's no please, there's no 5-star mummy in the middle of the night, it is 3-star mummy. Mummy who's tired, mummy who needs toddler to get back into bed. Hurry into bed, into bed. And then ask him if he's got doona or sheet to put the sheet back on himself. Too often what we do is we pick them up, put them into bed, and then we get the sheet or the doona and we put it on them. Then we create learned helplessness. They don't problem solve for themselves. Really common problem. So when the toddler wants something, you get them to do it for themselves. Then you sit there by the side of the bed till he's gone back to sleep again. Now, if this isn't practical because you've got a 4-month-old who's wanting feeding, put him back into bed and say, Mummy's going to come back in a few minutes, leave the room, go back to 4-month-old, and then in a few minutes go back to toddler just to make sure that he is asleep. If he's not, say, Mummy's come back just to see how you're doing. Right, I'm going to come back in a few minutes' time, okay, and keep on doing this, okay? So that will really help you, because once the toddler knows they're getting attended to and that you will come back, so even if you can't stay there and sit on the chair, that's fine. Just keep on going back and saying, just come see how you're doing, just got to feed your brother, right, back in a moment, and then when you go back, just have a little check on him and keep on doing this if you can do, okay? So hopefully that's helped you, Kylie. And say if toddler wants a bottle of, drink of water, then have a little bedside table, put your water on the bedside table. When he asks for water, point to the water and say, pick your bottle up, pick your cup up, drink your water. So you're telling him what to do. So then you are not the person that's doing this for him. It is going straight to him doing it for himself. Okay? Now, under 3 years of age, toddlers can't problem solve. They can't put blankets back on themselves. They can't work out how to get into bed or pulling blankets up, etc. So you need to direct them. Okay? Just put with an instruction, tell them what it is you want them to do. Okay? So that's how I manage the toddler and getting out of bed. So I hope that has helped you. Now, I'm answering a question now next for Mercy before I come to Katie's question. So Katie's also come to me through Instagram. So hello, people from Instagram. So this is fascinating. I love the way that this works. So there's Facebook, there's Instagram. People have found me through YouTube. I did a Skype recently to somebody over in Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island is off the coast of Canada. It's like a little villagey place. I couldn't believe it. Just back through YouTube, Karen. It's like, wow. So this world is now becoming a really small world, and I love it. I love that I can work all across the world, and I do Skypes and etc. all over the world now. You'd be shocked if you knew where I did Skypes to now. So I can do a lot of work from my home, from my chair, and it helps people. It's just amazing. It is really, really amazing. And I can fix things through Skype, which I never thought I could do 5.5 years ago. I never thought it would translate, but I think it's how you teach it, and I've worked out that it's how I teach stuff. Some people in life are good at teaching. I've worked out that it is one of my strengths. So amazing. Life never fails to surprise you. So Mercy asked me a question today about teething, and particularly when it comes to sleep training. So Mercy's boy was a shocker. I'm sure Mercy would agree with me. Jed was a shocker when it came to sleep. Now, a lovely shocker, absolutely gorgeous boy, but his family was so exhausted. I don't think I've seen many people so exhausted, apart from maybe Gabby, that I went to help after New Year. And I'll give you a little bit of his background. So Jed has got really bad reflux, food allergies. So when you've got reflux and food allergies, you get over-servicing because you have to, because they're in pain. And it is one of the hardest things. And so when you're doing sleep training, you've got to take away all these learnt behaviours. And these kids expect more than even the 5-star concierge. Jed, that night when I went to help them, he cried for 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours. I've only get one of those once in 2 years. He wasn't unwell, he wasn't teething, he didn't have a temperature. He just had persistence because he got all this learnt behaviour. He's now sleeping through the night. Mercy and her husband are having date night on the couch. They watch a movie, they can watch a full movie. They sleep through the night. Jed is doing incredible. He sleeps in the day now. And I want to see them. I think it's probably first week in January, second week in January, something like that. And this is just within 2 to 3 weeks, they're having bliss in their house. So obviously you don't want to undo that with doing the wrong thing with when teething or illness happens. So what the key things I would avoid is putting your child into your bed. Poor Artie did this recently because she was so desperate and her child was so sick. So next time Artie's going to put herself in the bedroom on a mattress on the floor just till the illness is gone, and then move back to parenting presence. It's taken 9 days for Artie to undo that 1 week of bed sharing. So anything you do for more than 7 days, you do for more than a week, becomes a new learned behaviour. So just be aware that if you keep on doing something, putting your child in your bed, feeding them at night for more than 7 days when previously you haven't been doing these things, then sleep will come undone. But it never comes undone permanently. You just need to go back to the sleep training. So say with teething, got a temperature, is really cranky, not happy, what would I do? So I'd look at the usual analgesia. I'd look at Panadol and Nurofen. If those don't work, there's a company called Puriforce Remedies. I actually really love these products and I've used them on my hardest of teethers. It could be something that I might stock in the shop in the future, and have a box full of Karen's favourite things. But Puriforce Remedies is a company over in, I think it's over in Victoria, and I think it's over Mount Gambier or somewhere over that way, okay? So they're something to know about is Puriforce Remedies. Then you're looking at things like, you've got Browers, you've got things like Highlands, and they do homeopathic, the actual teething gel. Also as well, I've been looking at acupressure. So you've got a little acupressure point around a little fleshy bit of your hand, around your thumb and your forefinger. So just get your thumb and your forefinger and press that several times a day. That really helps teething. Okay, that's a pain receptor. Okay, Claire, I'm coming to you shortly, Claire. Don't worry, I've not forgotten about any of you. So that's what I look at with teeth. So do the least you can get away with. Try not to feed, try not to put into your bed. They're the two big undoers. And just try and ride it through and just resettle the way that I've taught you, Mercy. So I would not like your sleep to come undone, and if Jed misbehaves, I will be back. Tell Jed. Yes, I will, Jed. So okay, Mercy, don't worry, I will never let your sleep come undone. I know how bad it was for you. So all those poor parents out there that I help, I never let your sleep come undone. I'm the girl who wants to fix everything and help everybody. So once I work with you, I give my all. And I'm a don't give in sort of girl if I've got a well child, as you can tell. 4 hours. 4 hours. Me and Mercy are there going, and after 2 hours, most kids cry for 2 hours on sleep training. After the second hour, I'm going, this doesn't look like it's stopping. I said, Mercy, steel yourself. We've got another hour of this. Just keep your thoughts together. And then we got to the end of 3 hours, and it was still going. And I said, Mercy, we have to do another hour. Oh, it was so hard. And it's in the middle of the night. He hadn't got a temperature. We'd given him analgesia. He wasn't teething. When we took him out, he went completely quiet, and that's how we knew it was behavioural. So when you using, checking out, is something wrong? So after 2 hours of crying, definitely check, is something wrong there? Is the nappy leaking? Are they too hot? Check the temperature. Are they in pain? Okay. When you hold a child, when you feel them, you know when something's wrong. So I'd use those sort of things first. But look at analgesia, look at homeopathic, Puriforce Remedies, look at acupressure during the day and at night time. Water if you're desperate, but again, don't do it for more than a week. Avoid a feed. Feeds and putting into your bed are the big ones. But if you have to, if all else is failing, then teeth don't usually take more than a week to come through, the worst bit. So hopefully that's helped you, Mercy. So Jed, waving my wand, I'm on the case to you, and I'm watching Jed. He's so cute though, so luckily. Alrighty, so next one I'm coming to is Katie. So Katie's come through Instagram. She's got a 3.5-year-old. Won't go to bed without me. If I'm not home, she's fine, and my husband can get her down. If I'm home, she only goes to bed in my bed with me. I've tried everything. Being nice, being harsh, compromise, bargaining, bribery. I've ended up going to bed at 8:30 with her, and then my husband moves her when she goes to bed. She wants to be attached to me 24/7 and won't let her dad do anything. Okay, Katie, very common problem. Do you live in Sydney, Katie? do you live in Australia, Katie? Because if you did, I'd come and help you. Because 3.5-year-olds are particularly tough. And it's knowing how to do this. And like I said, it's only taken me 17 years of doing sleep work to work all this stuff out. But I fix things, again, like I say, that nobody else can do. So I would do a Skype chat with me. I think you need to know all my secrets, and it takes me about 3/4 an hour to either do a Skype or a phone consult, but that's the way I'll be going, Katie, with this. I think it's too hard to answer through a Facebook Live. You know, I haven't got another 3/4 an hour, unfortunately, Katie, but you need help. It isn't going to go away by itself. I hope you live in Sydney. I hope you live in Australia, because then I would absolutely come and help you. But if not, we'll do a Skype and let's sort this out, okay? But you need a plan, and you need a plan that works, and you need a plan that doesn't fail. And my plans don't fail. They fix the hardest of children, and I think I have a lot of hope, Katie, that I can help you. So I know I've not given you the answer, but I think you need to contact me for me to give you the answer as to what to do. Okay, love? So wave my wand, but unfortunately the wand will not fix it that easily. So please contact me, Katie. All right, so Melissa Sultana. Hello, Melissa. Are you still there, Melissa? Give me a like and a thumbs up and a... Is Melissa still there? All right. Katie. So Katie, was that a question I answered before, Katie? 3.5-year-old bird, 3.5... Right, Katie, so you've got 18-month-old twins. Okay, I'll send you an email. Absolutely, Katie. Let's talk, love. Okay. Having twins, very, very hard. An 18-month-old twins, very, very hard. And you've got a 3.5-year-old who's a little bit of a cheeky monkey. Yeah, totally agree. This needs big help, does this, Katie? So I look forward to hearing from you. All right, Melissa. Hello, Melissa. Are you still there, Melissa? Give me a wave or a thumbs up if you still are. If not, hopefully you'll listen to this afterwards. Hi, Karen. My 7.5-month-old is waking between 4:30 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. and has been doing so since 4 months. How can I stop this now he is older? Okay, so basically we need to look at how you're self-settling in the first place. I'd need to look at how you're resettling. Again, this would take a phone consult or a Skype consult to do this. It is not as easy for me to say, this is what you need to do, Melissa, okay? I wish it was, because then my job would be really, really easy. But again, like I said, it takes me 3/4 an hour of doing a Skype or phone consult to give you the answers, because it isn't just one thing. And if we just look at one thing, I ain't gonna fix it. So giving you a throwaway line, okay, he's got a bottle to resettle. Okay, so that bottle needs to go. Does he have a dummy, Melissa, as well? Just waiting for Melissa to reply back to me. Hello, Melissa. Are you typing furiously? Do you have a dummy as well? Or is it just the bottle? Does the bottle have milk in? Does the bottle have water in? Right, no dummy, excellent. Right, this will not be too hard then. So basically, when he's been crying for up to 3 minutes, constant crying, go to him, and I want you to use my method called parental presence, because he's a boy and he's 7 months old, 7.5 months old. So boys at 7.5 months old are particularly tricky. So you can't do a check-in method, you can't do controlled crying, you can't do the in and out stuff. So some people call controlled crying the in and out stuff. I call it a check-in method or comfort setting, where you go in under the cot and say, night night baby, time to go to sleep now, walk out, blah 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 blah, and increase the time limit. I wouldn't do that with him because of the age of him. So looking at the age and gender, really important. So I would do parental presence, wait for 3 minutes of constant crying, go to him, sit in the room, sit by the cot, and I want you to play dead. Okay? I've got videos, like I say, in audio of what I consider to be crying, what I consider to be constant crying, what I consider to be a pause. So if you do a phone consult with me, I'll give you all of that. Otherwise, you just got to just work out what I think is 3 minutes of constant crying. Okay? Go in, sit by the cot, put your hand in, play dead. Do not talk to him, do not look at him. And it might take 1 to 2 hours before he goes back off to sleep. Okay? And you just don't give in. Okay? You can do cuddles on night 1. They're brief cuddles, 30 seconds no longer. Don't overuse the cuddles. When you pick him up, you don't pat or rock or anything. Put him back down, he's going to roar his head off. Okay? Get back in your chair. Don't say anything. No eye contact, poker face, play dead, model sleep. Okay? You are asleep. And this could take up to 2 hours, like I say. But it's normal. And I might do a few cuddles in those 2-hour period, but it depends on the cry. The cry tells you what to do, and like I say, I read crying like nobody else does. So if you're not sure about this, if you're in Sydney, get me to help you, Melissa. Otherwise, do a phone consult with me or a Skype, because then you get the audio of what I consider to be a stressed cry, what I consider to be not a stressed cry, so you actually get to see inside my head and how I problem solve. Okay, and I think for $150, it is a bargain, and cheaper than my overnight visit, obviously. So Melissa, I hope that's helped you, but don't give in. By night 3 or 4, it can get worse before it gets better. So night 1's ordinary, to say the least. Don't get him up before 6 o'clock. Resettle all night waking before 6. Okay. Night 2 can be the same or slightly better. Night 3 or 4, things get worse before they get better. Night 5, it should be starting to improve, and night 7 to 10, he should be sleeping through. But again, it's based on how you do this, and how I do this will get those results. Okay, so Melissa, hopefully that'll help you. So waving the wand for you, and this little cheeky monkey with his 4:30 waking, but he's not going to stop it unless you help him to stop that. And at 7.5 months of age, he doesn't need to have a feed. I'm giving you permission to stop this, okay? And then he'll eat more in the day, and that's what he should be doing. So Claire, on to Claire next. So I'm just going to do another 5 minutes, and then we've got to finish because it's nearly an hour. Okay, and I've got loads more questions coming in. Hi Karen, any advice for an 8-month-old who whines all the way through dinner? She's great with her food on the spoon, finger food with a spoon, but whines between every mouthful, makes mealtime quite intense. Oh, totally. I can't tell if it's because of the taste, texture. I don't think it's because she's full, as it's through the whole meal. Thank you. All right, 8-month-old, whining all the way through dinner. Wow, that's a bit challenging, isn't it? I'll be looking at, is she overtired? Are you just giving finger foods, Claire? Or are you doing finger foods and spoon? Sometimes it's wanting to be in control. So then I'll be looking at doing more finger foods than spoon. Because when you look at attunement, so attunement is where you work your way around the problem, rather than doing this stuff. So with a spoon is often, it feels a bit of a control issue for some kids. So that could be the issue. Now, I've got a lovely video on my Instagram of a baby who is turning her head away to the spoon. And it's probably on there for about a month ago, this little baby, I think it's Bella on there. Amazing video, and it just shows that that baby really does not want to be spoon fed. So if they're turning away and doing this, then that says finger foods to me, okay? Is it not coming fast enough, the spoon? That could be an issue as well. Are you eating with her? That's all really, really important. Does she want more food? Is she just overtired, or mealtime should have been earlier? Okay, some kids want food like yesterday. Moving on to things like lumpy food, and I'll be giving things that you're eating as well. Okay, but I think I need a bit more information, Claire, about what exactly is happening. It might even be worth sending me a video and getting me to have a look at that for you. Don't send me a huge video because obviously I don't have heaps of time. Do you live in Sydney, Claire, as well? Do you live anywhere near Bondi? Because I'm at Basker's every Wednesday, so that's an option. You can bring things in there to show me, because like I said, Karen loves technology. So I hope that's giving you a few ideas, Claire, as to what it could be. And I've got heaps of blogs as well about kids with problem eating around 8 months of age, kids refusing to sit in the high chair. So there's a few little ideas on that blog about Xander and refusing to sit in the high chair. But I think there's some of the things I would be looking at, Claire. So I hope that's helped you. Alrighty, so anything else from anybody else? No? Okay, right, everybody's right, excellent. So we're all good. Just to remind you that to be included in the competition, to win this lovely prize of the massage book and the Help I'm a New Mum book, that you have to like this video, this post, and we're going to be drawing it by Friday, okay? And it is a great competition to win. This has got lots of all my top secrets and really important things in. Great, Claire. Yeah, read the blog, I think, and send me a video, absolutely. Okay, so thank you all for coming today. If I've not got around to your questions, I will start on them next week. Eventually, I think some of these things will have to go into a YouTube because there's so many questions out there, but I love answering them. So have a lovely week, but like this post today, like this video, and you'll get put in the draw. So, oh, Pia, excellent. You got some success with Leo's sleep by moving the white noise outside his room. Thanks for the advice last week. No problem, Pia. Absolutely welcome. So you know, asking me questions on here can really save you a lot of heartache and pain, because I can problem solve, and I'm one of the best problem solvers I know. Ask me a question and I'll come up with quite a few answers for you. So I would use my 28 years of knowledge, and it's like a cheat sheet. So hi to Johnny, so bye to Johnny and Leslie and the kids, and hopefully you've enjoyed this, Johnny, and hopefully there's going to be some more snow for you. And thank you everybody for watching. Have a fabulous week, keep cool, and hopefully your babies and children are all sleeping well, and tune in for some more next week and some competitions. So bye from Karen. Yay!